All right, this is a very different episode and is not related to design per se, but more related to business and how my business runs behind the scenes. I think a lot of the time we can see everything that I guess I'm doing or other business owners are doing. You're like, how are you doing all of that? And I will let you know, obviously, beyond having a couple of team members that I use to support me contract basis, I also use a lot of software. Being an online business, software is a really big player in my business, but it also costs me a mint. So in this episode, I'm going to share with you how much I'm paying for my software and all the different pieces of software that I'm using and for what, in case it inspires you for things that you might want to invest in the future, switch to, or just try, or be like, oh, that's cool. So let's dive in. So thank you for joining me for this episode. It's a bit of a different one. I'm not sure why I thought of doing this, but I always find this behind the scenes stuff really interesting. I will let you know a few of these organizations and businesses I am affiliates for because I used their program and I loved it. So I thought, let's become an affiliate for it. So I'll pop all the links for those in the show notes as well. I'll pop the links for everything and my affiliate ones will be in there as well. But other than that, I want to share with you what I use and what it does. So first up, I'm going to share with you how much I pay in total. So at the moment, at the time of recording this episode, I am paying $989 per month and 51 cents per month for all of my different subscriptions and tools. This is a wild amount and it still could be more. There is a few programs that I'm not using that I really would like to invest in or at least invest in the paid version. I'm not doing that yet. So I'll actually chat with you first about the free programs that I'm using that I haven't upgraded to the pro yet. So the first of those is Asana. So for my project management system, I use a program called Asana. I tried to get into this for years and never could, but I finally got into it and got a real flow with it. So pretty much it's kind of like Trello or Monday.com or whatever kind of those programs. It's a project management tool where pretty much me and my team are all inside Asana. We can assign tasks, we can assign projects, we can do all sorts of different things, and it can just communicate through that program. I love it. It took me a long time to love it because it took me a while to convince myself to use it as a solo business owner, but particularly when I got team, it was a lot more easy to convince myself to use it because we needed something. And I also worked out there was a calendar view, which was really helpful for my to-do list. So I actually use all of my to-do list is inside Asana, even my personal stuff I add in there because it just is all in one place. I can use it on my phone or I can use it on my computer and that's all right there. So Asana is one of my favorites for project management, but I'm on the free version. I'm not paying a cent for Asana. So it is really, really great to be able to just use that free version and it's supported us until now. And I have no reason to consider upgrading just yet either. Another free program that I'm using is Airtable. Airtable, if you haven't heard of it, is kind of like spreadsheets on steroids. It's kind of like this spreadsheet that you're able to add images into, which as a designer, I find really helpful. So I use this as just a way to house a few different bits and pieces that I don't want just on a normal spreadsheet. I want it to be a bit more functional. So I use it to house testimonials and images of my clients for the testimonials. We even use it for our clients if we're doing their social media. We only do this for one client, so don't ask us for it, but we use it for them in terms of like we put their social media posts. You can actually insert an image into the spreadsheet, then you put the caption there and you might put a little checkbox to say if it's approved or not, space for amendments, all those sorts of things. And so I love using it for that as well. And again, Airtable, I'm using the totally free version. The next free thing I'm using is Slack. Slack is what I use to communicate with my team just on a really we just do voice memos or just if it's more of a casual conversation or did you see this task in Asana kind of thing. It's just a lot easier to communicate through. Slack, I'm on the free version as well. However, the Slack is something that I might have to upgrade to the paid version for because eventually conversations disappear or they're not accessible anymore. You can only add a certain amount of people and there's limits that are there. I haven't reached the limit yet, but I can imagine that might be coming up soon for me. Another thing I use is obviously Google. I use the Google suite of Google Docs and Google Forms and Google, all those different folders and sharing things with clients and stuff. I use Google there. I do pay for some space for that, but beyond that, I don't pay for the actual just using of a doc or for a spreadsheet. So that's a good one as well. Google Suite is one of my favorites. And then for some of my paid subscriptions, I'm going to list them out now. There is a lot more paid ones. So the first one is Kartra. Kartra is what I house a lot of my business on it. It's where I host my course, also where I send my emails from, and it's also where I sell any digital products, and it's also where I house most of my sales pages on as well. And so Kartra is really great because one of the reasons I joined it was because it has a whole range of things all in one, and that was why I joined it, and it's been going really well for me. And now I'm honestly, even if it wasn't going well for me, I probably wouldn't change because I'm just so deep in it. I've got so many funnels set up and email sequences and tags and all of my databases all in there. So Kartra is what I use for that. It is a relatively it's kind of like a Kajabi competitor, I guess. And it does a lot of things like Kajabi does. And so yeah, feel free if you're looking for something, then I found Kartra a little bit cheaper to start with than Kajabi, which is why I went for it. And it's been doing me really well. The next thing I pay for is Gmail. So I actually have if you don't already have this in your business, I would recommend getting it is emails, email accounts. It isn't just Jacqui jacqui@gmail.com. My email is jacqui@whitedeer.com.au. So I pay for the Google Suite there in terms of being able to have an email account and an email like system. There's like a whole phrase of what they call Google Workspace, where that you can purchase like email accounts to do with your domain name. So that's something that I use there. Next up is the Adobe Suite. So obviously as a graphic designer, I don't just use Canva. I do have access to the whole Adobe Suite. So the main ones that I use is Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign. Sometimes like I have used Premiere in the past. I have used a few of the other programs, but mostly it's those three. And so that's a program that I use obviously quite regularly. If you're obviously another designer, highly recommend the Adobe Suite. Obviously, there's some great alternatives as well, so feel free to look into those if you're wanting something a bit more budget friendly as well. Next up is a book managing program, so like your money management. And so for me, I use a program called QuickBooks. There's also ones like Xero and probably 1,000 other ones, but having something I think is really helpful. So for me, this carries like QuickBooks brings in all of my different business and bank transactions. It brings in all my Stripe and all my PayPal transactions. And then me and my mum, who's thankfully really good at this stuff because she was an accountant, does all my bookkeeping where we can kind of manage my books and submit things for tax and work out GST and work out all of those different unfancy money things that you just have to get done in business. If you're in business for the long term, having some sort of money management system to keep track of all those things, not just invoicing. Like for example, I use Dubsado for a lot of my invoicing, which I'll talk about soon, but I also have QuickBooks to kind of be able to manage all of the different money coming in from all the different kind of places and make sure that I'm doing everything to the letter and doing things correctly. And I'm also being on top of my numbers enough that I actually know what's working for my business and maybe what's not and what I should kill. So QuickBooks is what I use for that. Next up is my podcast management system. So there's so many different podcast platforms, guys. And I don't know if what I picked was the best one, but what I use is Simplecast. To be honest, the reason I chose it, I think, was budget and also it looked nice. You will get me with something that looks nice, and Simplecast did look nice. And it's been working really well for me. The only thing I don't love is that on the version that I'm on, it doesn't have great analytics, which is frustrating because I really would like some more analytics, but I also don't want to pay any extra for all the different programs I'm using. So that's where I'm at right now. But Simplecast is quite a good budget one, and I've been really enjoying it. It's worked fine for my 168 episodes so far. So yeah, Simplecast is what I use for my podcasts. I also have the website that I bought my domain on. I don't know if this is the best way to do it, but I just used crazy domains and bought whitedeer.com.au, and that's been working fine for me to most of the extent. Then we've also got my website builder. So I use a platform called Showit. I've spoken previously about how I switched from Squarespace to Showit and how I loved designing with Showit. And so that's been really great for me. I pay extra for Showit as well to get the blog platform on there because I have my podcast and I have a blog that comes out every week with the podcast. Feel free to check that out. It's got some written notes about things. And so that blog access cost me a little bit more on top of the normal Showit subscription, but Showit and its blog features is what I use for my normal website. So I've got Kartra that does like my sales pages, like for my course and whatnot, but I also have my Showit website that's the main host of all of those things, and kind of people can go out from that to any other pages that I've got linked in as well. The next subscription that I have is to Zoom. So I have a Zoom subscription and also have a Zoom subscription for my studio side of my business because my team is often running calls at the same time I'm running calls, and that would be not ideal if we jutted heads because you can't have two calls happening at once. So I have 2 Zoom subscriptions for that. I find Zoom really great. I use it for recording podcasts. I use it for calls with clients. I use it for calls inside my coaching, like my course, all sorts of things I use Zoom for. It's pretty much just a great all-rounder and has never really let me down too, which is really helpful. And so I pay for that. I don't pay for like a super high level because I don't need a high level. Sometimes people I think pay more for the space on Zoom, but I personally just download everything from Zoom and upload it to my online servers and stuff. And so I actually use OneDrive. I don't even know how much I pay for that because I think I kind of did it as a personal thing a while ago. Anyway, I also use OneDrive to store all my folders. So this is kind of like a Google Drive or a Dropbox alternative is OneDrive. And it's like the Microsoft version of that, which is funny because I'm a Mac person. I don't use a heap of Microsoft things, but I do use OneDrive, and I find that really great because it's just always there. And I use that for putting like recordings for calls in that, and I also use that to share content with my video editor, and that ends up being like 10 gig a week. So it hasn't run out of space yet. I don't know when it's going to. I kind of like putting my head in the sand sometimes, and that's what I'm doing with my space for that. But that's working really well for me too. Speaking of videos, I also use Vimeo. So I use Vimeo to upload videos for my course content. Kartra can house those videos, but I also find that sometimes it might glitch, but mainly you had to be on the next level of subscription to use Kartra's video service, and I didn't like beyond like 10 gig worth of stuff. That's not the right number, but in essence, you had to pay more to use heaps of videos on Kartra, which I would have exceeded with my course. And so before, when I was on the lower version of Kartra, I've now upgraded since. Then I was using Vimeo, and I still use Vimeo to house all my content there. I don't actually know how much I pay for that because my husband is the one who owns that account, and I kind of just use it a little bit. I also use Vimeo for screen recording. So kind of like Loom, where you can do screen recordings, I use Vimeo to screen record for my business in terms of when I'm giving feedback to my students. So obviously inside my course, me or my team will get back to people when they ask questions. I usually will do a screen recording inside their Canva design, giving them feedback. On videos as well, a free program I haven't mentioned is I just use QuickTime. So when you see me doing a screen recording on any of my tutorials or my videos on YouTube, that's just literally using QuickTime, which is native on a Mac computer, and I'm just recording my screen, and we just use post-production video editing to add me on top of that. Speaking of video editing, it's all disconnected. There are so many different moving bits and pieces. When I edit a video, I usually use Final Cut, or I've also started using CapCut recently as well. They're both really great programs. My video editor uses Adobe Premiere Pro, so it doesn't really matter which program you use, to be honest, just as long as you find one that and you actually commit to getting to know it and getting to know the shortcuts and learning to use that quicker. Next up is scheduling. And yes, I'm nearly halfway through this. No, I am over halfway through this list. It's such a long list of this tech stack. And so I also use Calendly to do my appointment scheduling. I'm working out at the moment if I need a changeover because I also use Dubsado. I'll talk about in a moment. But I could use, there's also scheduling available in Dubsado and also in Kartra, but I find Calendly just really easy to use. So I've used Calendly for that. My team, I've also got a team Calendly that they can use for when they're booking calls for the studio. So 2 Calendly subscriptions, and that's what we use for booking any coaching calls or calls with clients or podcast calls. I do that as well. Next up is one of my, probably 2 things I'll share about now for funnels. So I have Interact. So Try Interact is what I host my quiz on. This is where I have a quiz called What's Your Brand Style? And that quiz is done so wonderful. And I use Interact for that. So it's a really great platform. I found it really user-friendly. I found it really robust. It has not failed on me at all. And it's really great to embed into the different websites. So I have it embedded into different places. And so Interact is really good there. That is a paid subscription. And I also pay for what's called Deadline Funnel. So that's another funnel management system where they help you to create deadlines for different programs or different offers so that each person can have their unique deadline for maybe an offer or a discount or something running out. It just helps everything to run really smoothly so they can feel a beautiful sense of urgency, but the system kind of takes care of all of that. I just wanted to interrupt for a moment to say that if you're enjoying this episode, I would love to invite you to my free 3-part video training to help you to create your own stunning visual brand, helping you to grow your business faster and to feel and look $1 million. If you're ready for the best year of business yet, then join over 1,000 business owners who have already taken part in the challenge to get started on creating your own brand. Join us today at whitedeer.com.au/challenge. That's the color white, the animal deer.com.au/challenge. Cannot wait to see you there. Let's get back to the episode. Another good one to probably mention in the funnel category is Zapier. So I use Zapier for kind of connecting different bits and pieces. If you haven't heard of it, it's a weird concept to imagine, but in essence, Zapier is great at connecting all of these different programs that I've mentioned so that things can happen automatically. So say, for example, when someone fills out a form on my Kartra, I've actually got a Zap that then sends that to Deadline Funnel to start a deadline for that particular person. Or I might have when someone fills out a form on my website or does a particular action over here, it might make a task for me inside Asana, or it might do something for me inside Dubsado. And it kind of just connects the different programs and makes different things happen, which just saves a lot of manual labor when you want to do things. Like even, for example, when a new student joins my course, it makes a task for the people in my team to create a welcome post inside my Facebook group to post into that. Ideally, the welcome post would get created by itself, but the Zaps aren't that. I don't think it can do Facebook posting for you. So all those different Zaps kind of happen without me having to do anything. Took me a second to set that up, but Zapier is one of the ones I pay for that. Zapier, depends on, I guess, probably Zapier is probably more American pronunciation. And then I think there's one called Make that you can use as well. I dabbled with that for a little bit, but whatever you choose, just having something like that to take off those manual labor steps, it's really great when you're in that time-saving mode in your business, which is why I use most of these programs. It's that piece of, to some extent in the early stages of my business, manually scheduling calls or manually doing this or manually doing that is totally fine. But when things start to grow and get momentum and my time starts to be more time poor, paying for these programs is kind of like paying for someone to help me with these things, except that I'm already paying for people to help me with different things, and I'm paying for different programs to help me do those other things that I could be paying someone for, but no one wants to go through and set up all those deadline funnels for different people. So that's what we're kind of doing with all those different programs. Next up, I have my content repurposing helpers. So I've got 2 programs I use mostly for that. The first one is called Cast Magic. That one takes my podcasts or my episodes of something and transcribes it. Then once it transcribes it, I can use it kind of has AI kind of built into it where I can have it spit out immediately like blog post and show notes and a question and like a newsletter and a this and a that. And it kind of just writes based on the transcript a whole lot of pre-made things so that I can then go through, and I don't just copy and paste these and put them on my blog. I go through and I edit them and I change them and I make it my own, but it kind of just helps me not to have to start from scratch when I'm trying to create content for things. So I really, 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 really love that. I was trying to do it in ChatGPT for a while, but it means that I was doing a transcript over here with one program, bringing that into ChatGPT, asking the question, and it just was too much. So having something like Cast Magic, which does that all for me in the one kind of thing, and I can go back through all my past episodes really easily, was a game changer. Another one that I use for content management and repurposing is Opus. Opus, there's a heap of platforms that will do this, but pretty much if I upload a video into Opus, it will go through it and AI will pick out really good parts. It will pick out a part where I'm saying something really amazing and it will cut that down and it will cut it into a little thing like this, and then it'll be just something that I can use for my business and post it and use it again in something like Instagram as a reel, or I could put it onto a short for YouTube, just something like that. It's put everything together, just looks through the video without me having to look through it and then cut it together myself. Plus it adds those cute little captions as well in my brand colors, which I totally love. Finally, I have 2 design programs. So obviously I use Canva Pro. Canva Pro is a really great tool for designing your designs for your business. I highly recommend upgrading to Canva Pro if you're going to use it ongoing for your business. It will save you so much time and money to do that pro version. Like, yes, it will save you money because you're saving time. Like, instead of looking up hacks of like, how can I background move without Canva Pro? Or how can I save this? Or how can I do that? Just get the Canva Pro and it will be a lot easier. Again, I've got affiliate links down below. So if you do want to upgrade, please make sure you grab those links as well. It just helps to support my channel. And lastly, I also use for graphics Creative Fabrica. Creative Fabrica is like a website you can go to purchase different fonts or different illustrations or different graphics for your business. I also sometimes use Creative Market as well. And so those kind of programs just to really help if there's not quite the right graphic you're looking for in Canva, you can go onto those platforms, purchase those and bring them into something like Canva to keep on designing with. All right, I think that's it. I've definitely forgotten a program or 2, but in essence, those are the main things that I use what we call a tech stack for my business to help it to run. And as I said, that costs about $1,000 a month. But it is totally worth it for me because it saves me so much time that I can then spend with my family, time that I can then spend helping my clients instead of doing these mundane tasks over and over and over again. I think it's really important to go over your tech stack regularly. I do this quite regularly. I look over my list and I think, is there anything I can cut out? Is there a way that I can combine 2 systems? Like the next thing I'm probably going to combine is working out if I can cancel one of my Calendly subscriptions and bring that across to Dubsado. Did I mention Dubsado? I haven't. That's one I've forgotten. So Dubsado is the tool that I use in the studio side of my business. So I have a studio that does design for you, and the studio side runs on Dubsado. So that's where clients will fill out forms, proposals. That's where we'll send out invoices and emails and canned emails and all sorts of things. Dubsado manages that. There are a lot of other great programs that will do this as well. Dubsado isn't the only one. It isn't the only best one, but it is one that I've been using and have been enjoying as well. So Dubsado is another great one that makes my business work, and I don't know what I'd be doing without it. So thank you for joining me. I hope that was an interesting insight. I would love you to let me know in the comments which one of these you either use or which one you might use that's a little bit different, because I love hearing different people's experiences and what they've been using. So let me know that in the comments. You can even let me know on Spotify. I've got that question set up in there, so you can let me know there too. So thank you for joining me. If you found this episode useful, make sure you are subscribed to either my YouTube or to the podcast. And if you have any questions or things you would love me to discuss in this podcast, I would love to know. So just send me, you can have a comment or you can send me an Instagram DM at whitedeargd, and you can help me kind of decide what content we can share next. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you next week for an episode. Bye.